let's just take a moment to appreciate when you get into a clean bed and smell your pillow, how awesome it is. Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another weekend prep video. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm a full-time working mom and I have 2 kids, and in these videos I just like to show you what we get done on the weekends to prepare for a more successful upcoming work week. Sometimes that's cooking, cleaning, obviously grocery shopping, laundry, just anything that needs to get done around the house, and I hope that these videos motivate you to do the same. So today is Saturday. It's about 8:15 in the morning. I've already gotten up and showered, and I was just downstairs cooking Connor breakfast. I just made him a quick like egg sandwich with toast and an egg and some cheese, and he's eating a cut up apple with that. Adam's gonna make himself an omelet. I have my coffee, and I'm up here in my laundry room because I will be traveling again for work this coming week, and so one of my priorities when I do that is always to make sure that my work clothes are washed and hung up to dry in time so I can get them packed on Sunday night, because I've been in this situation before where I haven't gotten them done in time, and I was cutting it close and like basically almost packing wet clothes in my suitcase to take with me, which I don't want to deal with. I also want to get Connor's, actually I want to wash all of our sheets this weekend. So mine, Kira's, and Connor's. Kira's actually at a sleepover. She went to her friend's house last night, so she's not here right now. So I have some, let me show you. So first of all, sometimes I get questions on the washer and dryer we have. We have a Maytag. We just got this earlier this year, and we had a Maytag before. I like it just fine. I like the top load. I prefer the top load over the front load. But I have like slacks and sweaters and like all of my work shirts, basically stuff that I don't put in the dryer in here. So right now I'm going to get those hung up. When we built our house, we had them install this rack here so we could hang clothes to dry. And then whatever's in there that can go in the dryer, I'll go ahead and put that in the dryer, probably not much of it. And then I'll go ahead and get Connor's sheets started. So the other thing that I'm going to be doing today is taking Connor out for a little bit of clothes shopping. I posted a few weekends back that I took Kira, and she got a bunch of fall clothes, and actually just ordered her a winter coat from Justice because we couldn't find one when we were there. But today is Connor's turn, so we're going to spend a little bit of time together. I'm going to take him to Walmart. He needs to get like some new pajamas, and we need to get him a Halloween costume. He wants to be Pikachu this year. And then I think we're going to go to Farm and Fleet and Hibbett Sports and probably the shoe store to get him some pants and long sleeve shirts and shoes for fall. So you can come along with me and we'll see what we can get done this weekend. All right, so I got Connor's sheets in the washer. I'm gonna go ahead and do the, where's that? The sanitize with Oxy. Because I always use this when I do sheets and towels, and sometimes I put it in the softener dispenser, and sometimes I put it in the Oxy dispenser and then just pick the sanitize. Usually with sheets I do the sanitize. And then I have all of my work clothes hung up here. So those will be drying. Connor's gonna get finished getting ready and we're gonna go shopping. All right, so our first stop is Walmart. We're gonna look at some Halloween costumes. The ninja one? I don't think so. Yeah, they don't want them to be too scary. There's Pikachu over there. Isn't that what you wanted? No. Let's look. Let me see, Connor. Oh, you took it off.
That was awesome. And I love your mom. I love all my kids.
All right, so Connor's picking out the skeleton phantom, and then he's also picking out 2 cookie houses for him and Kira to build. Yay!
Let's organize it.
Let's organize it. Okay. So they have the Lego advent calendars out now at Walmart, and I would say if you're gonna get one now because they sell out fast. But I'm getting Kira the Harry Potter one since that's what she really likes, and Connor is getting the Star Wars Lego. But I always get them an advent calendar. It's just super fun. All right, so we are home from the store. I have a bunch of stuff to sort and wash of Connor's that I got him new. His sheets are done. Adam put those in the dryer, and then Adam put a load of his clothes in the washer. So I'm gonna get those in the dryer and then fold some more stuff. All right, so currently I'm gonna work on folding this mountain of clean clothes right here and getting those sort of split out for the kids to put away. Let me show you the next project I need to work on. So I can talk more about this later, but I have been pulling apart some of my scrapbooking kits that I've gotten over the last year and organizing them into categories, and that is something that I need to get cleaned up off the floor this weekend because we're having our first session of our cleaning person that's coming this week, and she's going to be vacuuming in here, so I definitely need to take care of that at some point. All right, got the clothes folded, so I'm going to go put those in the kids' rooms and they can put them away later today. All right, so one of the other things that I sort of have in my parking lot of things to do is up here in my office / scrapbook room. I've been collecting like school papers from the kids and stuff, and I don't save everything. This is probably from the last 2 years, just this pile and then this little pile in here, and some of it's like school pictures and newspaper clippings and stuff. But anyway, I need to get them all put in these binders. So I have some plain binders, and then I ordered some page protectors on Amazon, and so that's a project that I want to do. I don't think I'm going to get to it this weekend, but I do have an empty tote that had Kira's dance stuff in it, and it's empty now. So, you like my sandals with socks, by the way? So I think what I'm going to do is just put all of this stuff that needs to go in the binders in here, and then when I have time to sort of sit down and go through everything and sort it, and probably I actually won't even keep all of this stuff either. I mean, I kind of just kept stuff that was like really cute, or like this is laminated. I can ride my bike. Connor made that last year. This was like positive parent mail that we got in the mail about Connor, and like different school pictures and stuff. So I want to get those all put in a binder in page protectors, because I was given stacks and stacks of school papers from when I was a child, and it is really like while I appreciate it, it's really frustrating as an adult to have to like go through all that stuff, because it's like, I mean, part of it I want to keep, you know what I mean, just for sentimental reasons, like maybe a few things, but then part of it's like, I don't have room for this in my house. And so if I can just give my kids like a binder with, you know, key things from their childhood and their school years, that to me would be a lot easier than giving them just a box of papers. Let me know what you think about that. So I think I'm going to get all of this stuff in here, because the rest of these scrapbook supplies over here need to go somewhere in like this sort of organization piece here. So let's start on that. The other thing I wanted to say about school papers, which I know a lot of people struggle with, is that if I'm going to save stuff, I usually try to label it with the date as soon as it comes home. That way I know sort of how to organize it, and like it doesn't even have to be necessarily a date. You can just put like the child's name and the grade that they're in. But that would be one of my tips too, because you're never going to remember when this stuff is from on down the road. You're just you're just not, like, unless it's associated with a picture or something. I would just recommend labeling it, you know, ASAP when it comes home, if you're going to save it. All right, so I feel good about this. I got all of the school papers in there, page protectors and the binders, and I think I'm just going to set this over here by my printers and let that be until I'm ready to tackle it at a later date. All right, so we're gonna have cheeseburgers and fries for dinner tonight. So I'm gonna try to make homemade fries in the air fryer, which I've never done before. But I just cut these potatoes up and scrubbed them before I cut them up. And I'm just soaking them in cold water. They've been soaking for about an hour and a half. So I'm gonna rinse them off and then just spread them out on a towel to dry before I get them in the air fryer. This just helps get some of the starch out, so they're like crispier on the outside and more tender on the inside. These are dried off. I just tossed them with a little bit of vegetable oil. I suppose you wouldn't have to put vegetable oil in there since you're air frying it, but I want to make them a little bit more crispy, so I'm doing that. And then I put some salt on there. So I think I'm just gonna put these in the air fryer on the potato or fry. Yeah, 380 for 25 minutes. So this is a Celery air fryer. I really like it because it has like a really large capacity. So that's what I'm going to put it on. Whoops. And then I'll show you at the end how they turn out, and I will shake them halfway through. All right, so here's how the French fries turned out. Super crispy, and I tasted them. They're done in the middle. Delicious. I'm going to salt them a little bit more. And then Adam cooked the burgers on his new griddle. I'll link the one that I bought him down below. so good. We smashed them on the griddle. Some have cheese on them. We toasted the buns. We got lettuce, tomato, some homemade pickles that I made a couple weeks ago, different condiments, and some cottage cheese. So I'll show you what my plate looks like here in a second. Good Sunday morning, friends. It is about 9:30 and I'm at Walmart here getting ready to get my groceries and things that I need for the weekend. I feel like I wasn't really filming much yesterday, but I am going to show you my completed scrapbook room / office organization project, which I basically worked on most of the day yesterday. I did get a lot of laundry done and folded, so that was important. I also got Connor's sheets washed, Kira's comforter washed, one of our comforters washed, and so I do need to finish folding the bedding, or washing the bedding for the rest of today. We are going out for lunch today with my mom and my sister for their birthdays, so I need to grab some birthday cards while I'm in here. And then tonight I'm going to be making Swiss steak for dinner. It's going to be part of a vintage recipe collaboration video that you'll be seeing soon if you haven't already. I do need to do some light cleaning of our bathroom. And I think that's about it. So, oh, and then finish packing for tomorrow. Although I don't have that early of a flight tomorrow, so I can probably finish packing some of my stuff in the morning. I don't have to leave for the airport until like 7 or 7:30, so that's nice. So yeah, that is what I got done yesterday. I was very happy with all of the stuff that I was able to accomplish in terms of organization in my office. I have been collecting scrapbooking supplies as long as I have been scrapbooking, probably 13 or 14 years now. So yeah, it's I actually ended up throwing some stuff away, which I know people are gonna be like, oh my god, but the truth is that when you have that much stuff, and if there are like partial things used, I end up tossing those. Now, I did start a donation box, so if I have full packages of things and stickers and paper and stuff like that, I do donate that to our local Y, because they have an after school program where they can use the craft supplies. So that's just an idea. If you have extra craft supplies or even like learning materials and stuff like that laying around, see if there's an after school program in your community that you can donate those to. So okay, I'm gonna get into Walmart, get my stuff, and then we gotta get going so we can go eat lunch. All right, so we're getting ready to go out for lunch, but this is what I'm giving my mom along with a gift card for her birthday. So I had these school pictures from last year that I never handed out, so I just got some frames from Walmart and put those in there. All right, so I am working on washing up some of my produce. I've got my strawberries here in some cold water and vinegar, and I already washed up my apples in cold water and vinegar also. Connor is eating a apple with peanut butter. All right, so the other thing I need to do is empty the dishwasher. It's got clean dishes in it, and load it with dirty dishes. And I was going to make Swiss steak tonight, but that was going to be a meal that I was going to film, and it was kind of going to be a long drawn out thing, and I just really don't feel like dealing with it today. It's 3:30 right now, and I've already been starting to pack my stuff, and I still have a little bit more cleaning that I want to get done. So I'm just gonna hold that until next weekend when I get back, and we can have that meal then. Okay, so I just cut up my strawberries once they were washed and rinsed, and I'll put those in the fridge. Everyone will eat these this week, especially the kids. They love strawberries for breakfast. I think next I'm gonna do the cherry tomatoes. So if you guys have watched my channel before, you've seen me do this many times. But basically, I just do cold water and vinegar soak in the salad spinner. And then I actually have some grapes out in the garage refrigerator that I did not get washed up last week. So I'm going to wash those up as well so they can get eaten. So in with the tomatoes, I went ahead and threw some mini cucumbers that I had to wash up in there along with some celery. So what I'm planning on doing is just making up like a dish with washed up veggies in it, and we have ranch in the refrigerator. So if anyone wants to have ranch and veggies during the week, then they can have that for a snack or with dinner. Okay, so here are my grapes. I just took them all off the stems. So I'm going to soak them in cold water with some vinegar. Grapes are super dirty and they have this like waxy coating on them usually. So I like to soak them for a while and then I sort of like wash them off and give them a really good rinse just to make sure that they are all clean. Alright, so here's my grapes all washed up. I'm going to let these just sit and drain for a little bit before I put them in a container. I got all of my veggies cut up, so there's some cherry tomatoes in there, some celery, cucumber, and carrot, and then I also have some olives left over here in a dish. So I might like make up some packs of veggies with dip, otherwise just leave those in the fridge with some ranch. And then I had some broccoli in the refrigerator from last week that I didn't get washed up, so I'm going to wash that up and probably do something with it for dinner tonight. The other thing I wanted to do this weekend was get out my Mrs. Meyer's fall scent that I got this year. So last year I tried the pumpkin and the apple cider. I did not care for the pumpkin. I felt like it smelled like curry. But I did like the apple cider. But this month I'm trying the acorn spice and it smells really good. I really like it. So I always get this on Grove. I always have a link in my description box if you want to try it out. I like getting it from there because I don't have a Target by me, and so I can just order this stuff and it gets delivered right to my door. But if you use my link, if you haven't used Grove before, I think you get like a free 5-piece Mrs. Meyer's gift set and maybe $10 off or something like that. Don't quote me because I know the offers change, but I do have a link down there. So I'm going to go ahead and set this out next to my sink. I have a tray here that I also always get from Grove, and it's nice because it holds perfectly like your multi-surface spray, the hand soap, and the dish soap. And no matter what I do, I always run out of the dish soap first. But anyway, I sprayed some of it in the sink because I'm going to scrub out the sink, and it smells really good, really fallish like. So I ended up with a bunch of grapes, like more than I thought. Get down, Murphy. So I put some in this bowl, I put some in this bag, and then I also made up some of these like grape and cheese containers. If I can find these containers on Amazon, I'll link them. I got these like over the years. I feel like I got them at like Aldi or TJ Maxx. I don't know, I've had them for a long time, but I like them because they're separated, the Sistema brand. So I just like to put grapes in one half and then cut up cheese in the other. So I had a couple blocks of cheese to use up in the fridge. One was just low-fat cheddar and one is low-fat Colby Jack. Kira really likes these, but the kids can have these for like after-school snacks or take them in their lunch or whatever they want to do this week. Alright, so for dinner tonight I decided I'm going to make some potato soup. So I can't remember if I've ever shared this on my channel before, but I made potato soup so many times that I don't have, or I don't use a recipe anymore, but I will attempt to type it out down in the description box below. So I'm just using like a heavy pot. This is my Dutch oven. I have about half a stick of butter and some olive oil in the bottom, and I am sauteing one chopped onion, some chopped carrot, and some chopped celery along with a little bit of garlic. I also added some olive oil in there just to make sure that the butter didn't burn, and some salt. And so I'm just going to basically saute this until it gets tender, and then I'll add like the potatoes, chicken broth. I might add some broccoli too. I haven't decided yet. So I don't always add this to my potato soup, but I had some ham in the freezer that needed to be used up, and so I just thawed it out and chopped it into like tiny cubes. So I'll add that, and that will give the potato soup a good flavor. so I went ahead and chopped up my potatoes, well, peeled them, rinsed them, and then chopped them. So I'm putting those in the pot here. And then the next step is to add chicken broth. So I actually found a couple of containers of chicken broth in my deep freeze. I do make my own chicken stock when I have the time and freeze it so that I can use it later. I do have a video on that and I can link it down below. I usually use my Instant Pot. So if you don't have, obviously if you don't have homemade chicken stock, you can use chicken bouillon with water, or you can use like regular, you know, canned or boxed chicken stock. But basically you'll just pour that in there, and then I just let this simmer until the potatoes are really tender. I did try to cut them up a little bit smaller, especially with potato soup, just so that they're easier to sort of pick up on the spoon. So I'm going to put a lid on this and let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes until everything's tender, and then I'll show you how to finish it. Alright, so this has been simmering for about 30 minutes on super low heat. I also threw a little bit of broccoli in there, and so everything is tender. I took a potato masher and just broke up the big chunks of broccoli and some of the potato, just to make sure that nothing was in too large of pieces. In this measuring cup, I have some 2% milk, about 3 cups, just whisked with about a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. So this is what is going to thicken the soup, and then I'll add this and basically see how creamy I think it is, and then if I need to add more milk or half and half or whatever, I'll do that at the end. So then this can just simmer until it's thickened up to like the desired consistency. You can season it, and then I'll show you when it is all done. Alright, so here's the soup after it thickened up. I added just more salt and pepper to taste. It turned out really good. And then in this skillet, I am making some grilled ham and cheese sandwiches. Kira actually doesn't like ham, so I'm making her a grilled turkey, but the rest of them just are the sliced French bread I got today at Walmart. I buttered the outsides of them and then put a little bit of whole grain mustard on the inside with some ham and cheese, and that's what we're gonna have with our soup. Alright, here's how the ham and cheese turned out. They look really, really good. Yum. Alright, so I'm just getting the kitchen cleaned up after dinner, and I wanted to mention I do have some broccoli left over that I'm not going to get used up. So you can freeze this in its current state. Now, I don't know whether you could, you know, steam it again like this. I feel like unless you blanched it and shocked it in ice water, it'd be a little bit mushy. But what I usually do is freeze this as is, and then I use it to make my Instant Pot broccoli cheese soup. And I've done that before a couple times with both broccoli and cauliflower, and it's turned out good. So just a tip, if you have extra broccoli that you're not going to use up, stick it in your freezer and make soup with it later. Alright, I still have a little bit to clean up in the kitchen, but I am getting our sheets out of the washer and putting them in the dryer. It is currently 6:30. The Chiefs come on at 7, so it will be a while before we go to bed, so I'm not really concerned about these getting dry before that time. Alright, it's about 8:30. I just got the kitchen cleaned up. The kids are in bed. So I'm working on finishing packing up my clothes for this week. I still need to make the bed, which I washed all the sheets earlier. So I need 3 outfits for this week. So what I'm thinking about taking is, since it's getting cooler, this lavender sweater from Loft. It's super warm and comfy. Then next, I think I'm going to take this sleeveless top. I actually got this from Stitch Fix. I've been liking to get their stuff at least like once every 4 to 6 weeks, just to get some new tops for work. I like this one because it is a nice color and it goes well with black. So I have this black blazer from Maurice's, and then I think, I don't know, I'm not sure about this one yet, but the third one I'm thinking of is this top and this cardigan, although this is a little bit more casual, I would say, but I might wear this the third day I'm there. This sleeveless top is from Loft, and then this cardigan is from Stitch Fix. If you guys want to try Stitch Fix, I have a link for you to use, and I think you get like your first styling fee-free or something like that. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it in a while, but I'll leave the link down below in case you want to try it. So I'm going to finish getting stuff packed. I've been using these packing cubes, which I got on Amazon. I'll also link them down below. They're really helping me fit a good amount in my suitcase, and I've really been liking them. I've been using them both for like work and personal travel, and it's been working out well. I also need to pack my pants, so I have some black and gray slacks here, and then figure out what I'm going to wear tomorrow to the airport, what I'm going to wear Friday on the way home, and then if I need to pack any casual clothes. So let me look at that, and then I'll show you what I end up getting. All right, so I'm actually thinking I'm going to bring this too, because I'm sure I'll have room in my suitcase because it's only me traveling. But I haven't worn this, like, is it leopard, cheetah? I don't know. Blazer from Torrid yet. So I might try that. And then this top is from Loft. It just has like lace cap sleeves on it. So if you don't know, I get most of my work clothes from Torrid, Loft, Maurice's, and Stitch Fix. Those are the places I most commonly go. So I think I'm going to have 4 options. So I'm going to take this, the sweater, this combo, which I will actually also use this cardigan to wear with this white top and leggings on the way home, and then the black and the maroon. And then that should be enough for work, more than enough really. All right, so my suitcase is packed up. All I need to do in the morning is get my toiletries in there, but all my clothes are in there. The bed is made, so that is done. Murphy is sleeping on the clean bed, but yes, I love a clean bed. Let's just take a moment to appreciate when you get into a clean bed and smell your pillow, how awesome it is. Yes. All right, now I'm going to show you how I organize my scrapbook room. All right, so it's about 9:22 as per the clock over there. I've spent a lot of time in this room this weekend organizing all of my supplies and my office space and the space on the couch over there. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys how everything turned out. So I do have a standing height desk in this part of the room, and I ordered this on Amazon about a year ago. I will link it in the description box below. It's not cheap, but I love it because I am a total standing height person, both when I'm working on the computer and when I'm working on craft projects, although we do have our PC at sort of a regular size, you know, sitting desk over there. So what I worked on this weekend was breaking apart my Allie Edwards story kits, as well as some of my Studio Calico scrapbooking kits. I have been on design teams for many years prior to this year, and so I just had so much stuff that I needed to break out and sort of sort out so that I could use it. Now, I will say that when we had this room built, obviously my vision was to have it sort of turn into an office space. With a space for relaxing over there, taking photos, or whatever the case may be. But I really wish I would have had them install an outlet in the floor, because I do keep a light on my desk here, which is an OT light. I got it many years ago from Joanne to sort of illuminate my table right here. This is a tripod in case I want to film scrapbooking videos, which I haven't done in a long time, but I may do in the future. And so at any rate, obviously I have to have a extension cord right here over to a power strip, because I don't have any outlets in the center of the floor. And this is sort of a good space for this, because I typically sit over here or stand over here, whatever the case may be. I have some of my materials back here, like my typewriter, my paper trimmer, and my sewing machine. And then I can sort of look out to the front of the house and whatever the case may be. So let me show you how I organized some of my stuff. I apologize if you're not familiar with scrapbooking, but it was a big part of my life for so long. My hair is messed up here. And I just know that I had to take a break for a while, but I really want to get back into it. And I don't think that's like meaning in a professional way or in, you know, making videos or anything like that, but just like memory keeping in general for myself and my family. So if you're not familiar with Allie Edwards, She does have what's called a story kit each month, and so it's a scrapbooking kit where you get an envelope of supplies. Typically it's like you can subscribe to the stamp, you get like journal cards, embellishments, lots of different things to help you tell your stories, regardless of whether you want to do traditional scrapbooking layouts, Project Life. I'll link her site down below. If you're a scrapbooker, you probably already know about it. But if you're not and you're just looking for a way to sort of get started scrapbooking, it is a great place to start because she makes great kits. And so all that to say, I've been subscribing to her kits for probably almost 4 years. And so I had a lot of supplies that basically were all in these little envelopes, and I needed to get them sort of parsed out so that I could actually use them. And so to do that, I sorted them out into like things. And so I put letter stickers together, circles together, stars together, hearts together, journaling cards together, chipboard together, that sort of thing. And so it's sort of similar to how Allie organized her supplies recently, and I'll link that video down below if you're interested. But let me show you what I came up with as far as using things and having them accessible, because the bottom line for me is that if I can't access my supplies and I can't see them, I won't use them. So let me show you what I came up with. Okay, so the thing I like about this desk, besides the fact that it's a standing height desk, is that on each end it has all of this storage. So these cubes are exactly 12 by 12, which is problematic, especially if you want to store 12 by 12 paper in them, because you can't put any like shelves in there that are, you know what I'm saying, like it has to be like it has to be 12 by 12, and so you know there's limitations there. But at any rate, I tried to organize these things so that I could see them and get to them and use them in my projects. Now these are a different size than the IKEA ones, and I forget what these are called, but this is an IKEA bookcase that's sort of on its side. These are a little bit larger than 12 by 12, and so in the future I may sort of make some adjustments. Right now I have my stamping stuff in there, my punches in those two baskets, and then 12 by 12 albums in the rest of it. So that's sort of how I have it organized now, but I could change that in the future. So let me show you sort of how I organized all of my stuff in these cubes. So starting with this cube up here, I have I have word phrase strips. So all of these came from either Allie Edwards or Studio Calico kits. I was also on the Studio Calico design team for many years, so I have many of their supplies, but essentially I wanted all of these in one place so that I could use them. Some of them are chipboard, but most of them are paper stickers. And I do not know where I got this container from, because I feel like it was a box for something that I saved and you cannot buy it in a store, and I do not remember what the box came from, but I saved it because I thought, you know what, that would work great for scrapbooking supplies. So that is that. This container right here has letters in it. I have more than these. Sorry, Connor was just in here. He tells me he's not tired, but I told him to go back to bed. So it's what, 9:30? He needs to go to bed. So there's various letters in here. Some of them are like chipboard letter stickers. Some of them are just regular chipboard letters. Some of them are like these letter tiles. So basically I just wanted to have some of my favorites in a bin here. And I also do not know where I got these bins. I feel like maybe I got them at IKEA, but I also feel like maybe I got them at Aldi. I don't know. I'm just constantly on the lookout for little bins like this. Because when I see them, I'm like, oh, I could use that. And so then I use it for organizing my craft supplies or home supplies or whatever the case may be. Okay, in this section right here, I do know I got these trays from Aldi, which I really like because you can sort of slide them out. And in here I have all of, or most, I guess, of my travel supplies. So I did buy some travel supplies from Allie Edwards a few years ago, and basically I just sorted them all in here. And what I am planning on doing with this album, it's actually a 3x8 album, is making an album of Adam and I's trip to Denver, which we just took, I guess it was a couple of weekends ago now. So I've started printing some photos. I have different like travel embellishments in here. I put a mason jar in here with some of the little pieces. So that's sort of my plan right now, is to keep all of my travel supplies together in one place. And then in this box right here, OLW stands for one little word. That's another project that Allie does. And so it's basically where you choose a word for the year, and then each month you document prompts on that. And so like in the past, I have done albums based on that before, which I can show you guys if you're interested. I did choose a word last year, but I did very poorly at following along with it. And so I do want to try that again this year. But anyway, these are all the products I have for that in this box. And I, you know, obviously wanted to keep them all together so I could use them for the prompts when the time arose. Okay, in this bin I have the 4x6 cards. And so these all came from Allie's story kits, and I believe this refrigerator bin I got at Aldi. I'm not sure, but I think that's where I got it. And so basically I just took all of them out and laid them out here so I can easily flip through them. My goal is to start doing Project Life again on a monthly basis, and so that will help me do that. In this section up here, I have all of my acrylic words from the story kits. So I do have a few other words in here that were from Studio Calico add-ons, but most of them, as you can see, I have so many. There's type, there is breathe. If you're not familiar with the story kits, every month she chooses a word to base the kit off of. And so this one is believe. And so, you know, that's mostly why I have, you know, subscribed to her kits for so long, is this one is pieces. Anyway, you get the idea. You know, I really believe in the power of memory keeping and journaling, and really, you know, putting your words and your thoughts with photos. And it's something that I hold near and dear to my heart, even though I have, you know, taken a break for a while. I still cherish all of my scrapbooks, and it's something that I know that my kids will enjoy down the road. And so, you know, I know that I will use this stuff at some point, and for some people it probably seems like, oh, this is excessive, but it's important to me. And so I feel like we all have our own hobbies, and we we have to do what we have to do. So anyway, those are my acrylic words. And then these two boxes right here, I put letter stickers in one, and then I put sort of shape stickers in the other one. And I feel like these boxes must have come from the same source that this box came from, but again, I don't remember what it was. So I put a variety of letter stickers in here. Some of them are Allie Edwards, some of them are Studio Calico, some of them are from Kelly Perky. And then I also put numbers here in the back, so I just separated them out, letters and numbers. So that's that box. And then this box, I put some sticker sheets in that were different shapes. And so in the front here, I kind of put like stars and hearts. And then I use these Avery Index tabs, which you can get them on Amazon. I'll link them down below. I really like them for memory keeping projects. But you can use these to label your supplies also. So I have circles in this section, and then labels in this section, and then flags and tabs, you know, in this section. So that's kind of how I organize these things. You could obviously do it differently if you wanted to, but this is what made the most sense for the amount of products that I had. In this tray, I put sort of a mix of different embellishments, This is a 12 by 12 tray, and I feel like I got this on Amazon a while ago. If I can find it, I'll link it down below. But essentially, I put a lot of different things from, you know, mostly from the story kits in here, but I also included some things from Studio Calico kits as well. In this section up here, I tried to put like different tags and speech bubbles. Some of them are cork, some of them are vellum, some of them are cardstock, whatever. And this one, I tried to put words. So like you can see that some of these are like wood veneer. This was hard. Lessons learned. There's a house in there. 2019. Some different acrylic words and some wooden words. And then in this middle section right here, I basically put like different tags and just like sort of journaling cards, not necessarily journaling cards, but different like sizes that you could journal on. And so most of these have come from the story kits or Week in the Life. So like you can see, this one is like things I know for sure. So this came in a story kit, and there's multiples of these. So, you know, you could use these on a page. It would be like a prompt, things I know for sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however you wanted to do it. And so that's what I put in this section. These are circles. It's basically like blank journaling prompts there. And then in the bottom 3 sections, in this one, I kind of included different stars that were like, or starbursts that were really thick. So like I had these acrylic asterisks, which were very thick. These, starbursts, these were from a story kit, and then these chipboard sort of starburst circles, so put that in there. And this one I decided to do flare, and this is not all of the flare that I had, but mostly this is from Allie Edwards kits, Studio Calico kits, and Kelly Perky kits, and I just wanted to have it all together so I could pull from it as I needed. And then in this section is sort of like miscellaneous. You can see that I have some different like die cut tags in here, and then I've also included some acrylic tags that came in a kit, as well as some, I don't know what you call these, like maybe they're like transparency tags. So like that one says adventure, that one says drive. I'm not for sure what story kit that was from, but that is what I put in there. So this is nice because it's exactly 12 by 12, and it does fit nicely in this cube, although there obviously is some, you know, wasted space up here because you're not using that part of it. Moving along, this is another refrigerator bin container. I cannot remember where I bought it. I feel like maybe Aldi, but I'm not sure. So I took all of my story stamps that are 4x6 stamps, and these are clear stamps, which you have to have in acrylic block to use them, which is pretty much standard now. But I put these in here. There's 2 rows of these, and then this row is actually just like 3x4 stamps that are Allie Edwards. So like this one is a timestamp. I used that one for Day in the Life before. Different ones from her Stories by the Month kit. And then in the back here, I just put like my big numbers and letters that are from her also. In this section down here, I actually do not know where this old, wooden drawer came from, but I had it in my stash, and so Murphy is sniffing it, and we we decided to use it for circles. So in this bin, I basically have all of my loose circles. So chipboard circles, cardstock circles, cork circles. Murphy's trying to lick me. Basically anything that was in a circle shape. And sometimes that's how I scrapbook. Some of these are larger, like you can see. This one is a sticker. These back ones here are made out of chipboard. So that's just how I think about things in terms of using them on my pages, is in shapes. And I knew that if I got some of these out of their packages, that I would be able to use them a lot better. In this bin right here, and I also feel like maybe I got this one at Dollar Tree or Aldi, I can't remember. I put all of my Murphy. I put all of my 4x6 chipboard. Here, look. Murphy, sit. Sit. Sit down. Sit. He's not gonna listen. Anyway, in here I put all of my 4x6 chipboard. So mostly this is all from the story kits, but there are some also in there from like day in the life, week in the life, some from the story kits, some from the stories by the month kits, some from Studio Calico. But I'm really excited to have them all out of the plastic packaging and here for me to use for sure. That was part of the barrier, honestly, in me using them. And then this was an existing bin that I had. I really like these size bins. You can get them on Amazon or Walmart. I'll link them down below, but they're really great for storing small things, like either if you have like kids, you know, Legos, or I don't know, like pens, pencils, craft supplies, basically anything. They're like the perfect size for that. And I had already been keeping like my enamel dots in here, but I just went ahead and added to them. And it's something that when I scrapbook, I tend to use pretty frequently. So I wanted to make sure that I keep them all together. And since this container has a lid on it, it's easy for me to, you know, slide this in here and then I can put something on top of it. So that's nice. And then this section over here, this is another refrigerator bin that I believe I got on Amazon or Aldi. I can't remember. I have a bunch of my 6x12 stickers in here. So mostly they're letter stickers. Some of them are phrase stickers. Some of them are icons. These are just some that I have in my stash, mostly from the last year or so. And then down here, I went ahead and added all of the pattern paper that I took apart from my Studio Calico kits. So there are different things in there that I've ordered separately. There are Ali Edwards papers. I only kept my favorites, and the rest I'm donating because I don't need any more crap in my life that I already have. And then lastly, this section down here. So I can't remember where I got this wood organizer. I feel like maybe I got it at Hobby Lobby or Joann. I can't remember. But I've always, I've had this for years, and I've always stored tools in here. So like I have different punches, my hammer for eyelets, some watercolors that I actually don't use these very often. I have other ones that I use more. Some scissors, and then there's also like fringe scissors in here. Some pinking shears that are super old. I feel like my grandma gave these to me a long time ago. There's a corner rounder in here, a heavy duty stapler, and so these are like less frequently used tools, I would say. And then down here also I'm just storing like my headset and my webcam that attaches to my laptop for when I need that. Okay, we're gonna go over to the other side now. All right, so let me show you briefly the top of my desk before I start on the other side. So I may change these around, I'm not sure yet, but for now this is what I'm keeping up on top of my desk. I have this wooden bin here. This is actually from Melissa and Doug. This is like a puzzle container from when my kids were younger, and I probably need a bigger container, but a lot of the stuff in here is just numbers. So I went ahead and put all of my numbers together in this bin. This bin is words. So that is pretty self-explanatory there. This dish here is a Ray Dunn dish, and I just started putting like some of my most favorite like phrases and cards and whatever in here so that I can remember I have them and they would be easy access. So I'm putting those right there. In this bin I have some inks, some pigment inks from Pink Fresh Studio, some foam tabs, my Avery index tabs, red line tape. This is the adhesive that I use most often, is the Tombow, and then some different mists in there. And then I've actually started working on a page tonight. So this is a picture from when Adam and I were in Denver. This is a transparency on top of a white piece of cardstock. Sorry, the light is glaring there. And then I've just put some different embellishments around here. None of these are adhered yet. I'm just sort of looking at it and seeing how I like it. And we'll probably won't get it put together tonight, but I'll leave it on my desk this week for me to look at when I get back. And then on this side, I'm gonna put this extension cord down. I have my 6-inch trimmer. So this is what I use most often to trim smaller like journaling cards and pieces of paper. You can get this at Joann's or on Amazon. And then I have a little dish here of memorabilia that I want to make sure that I use on my pages if I have the chance. This is a wood block stamp, some of my most favorite journaling pens. And then I went ahead and put my 3x4 cards here. These are all from the story kits so that I have access to them. My goal is to start doing Project Life again and do it on a monthly basis instead of a weekly basis, because I feel like that is most attainable for me right now. Okay, so before we get started on the other side, I wanted to show you this cart that I have. It is a 3-tier rolling cart, and I believe it is called a Raskog. It is from IKEA. I got it there a long time ago. I think they have copycats now at like Michael's and Target and other places. But it works perfectly to hold crafting supplies for sure. I have some of my favorite magnets on here. I forget where I got this one. But it is so true. I'm sure many of you can relate with this. I wish I was as thin as I was when I thought I was fat. Of course, when I took it off, I just peeled the glue off, but anyway, I can fix that. So on the top here, I have tools and markers. I have washi tape, date stamps, watercolors. I have a cup here for water if I want to do some watercoloring, highlighters, paper piercer, palette knives, paintbrushes, my tiny attacher with silver, and my other tiny attacher with gold, scissors, scotch tape, whatever I need there. These are journaling cards on this tier, and I need to go through those and decide what I want and what I don't want. And then in the bottom is some extra adhesive stuff from Bella Boulevard. I was on the Bella Boulevard design team for, oh my god, like 4 years, 3 or 4 years. I don't know. I was on there for a long time. And so I have a lot of their stuff, but I feel like this time around when I'm sort of going through things, I know exactly what I need to keep, what I don't need to keep, what I need to give away, what I need to throw away. And so I'm feeling very positive about sort of culling down my stash to a usable amount for sure. All right, so I definitely feel like this side is less organized than the other side, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. So in this bin up here on the top left, I've been sort of collecting my fall and Halloween stickers and embellishments in this container because I do like scrapbooking Halloween, and I want to make sure that I keep those supplies separate because I can really only use them for that. And then in this little bin down here, I basically have memorabilia. So some of this stuff is from like swim team, some of it is from school pictures. There's like some stickers in here. Some of the stuff from when Adam and I just went to Denver, thank you cards, you know, just different stuff like that. When I do travel albums, I like to include memorabilia because I think it's really cool. And then also when I was cleaning out my stuff, I found this article that this is actually my first article that I was published. It was in the Joint Commission Journal on Quality and Safety in 2018. You can see there that my name is second on the publication list, which I was very proud of. So that's something that I want to keep like in a personal album, maybe put it you know, in a sleeve, just because it's something that I accomplished and I'm very proud of it. All right, in this section, I decided to include all of my Allie Edwards notepads. So a lot of times she will include these in her story kits or as add-ons, and basically they're 3x4, typically just in a notepad form. Some of these are from Studio Calico kits as well. Like this one is shaped like an iPhone, which I think is super cute. But anyway, I just wanted to keep those all in one spot so I knew where they were. And then I was also on the Kelly Perky design team for a while, and then also just bought a lot of her stuff. And so these are all my Kelly Perky stamps. I organized the alphabet ones here, and then in the back are the other ones. She always has like great, I don't know, just like girl power, feminist type stamps. I can link her site down below as well. And then these are also some Kelly Perky stamps. These are in the 3x4 size, but I just kept them separate than the 4x6 because they fit better in this container. All right, up here you can see I have some very fancy iPad and iPhone boxes. So I always save stuff like that when I can, just because I always feel like it's gonna have a purpose somewhere to store stuff. So in this bin here, I ended up putting all of my hearts, which I am probably the most excited about because a lot of these I haven't used yet. And I have like heart stickers, you know, cardstock, acrylic. I have some chipboard ones right here that I went ahead and kept them on the backing. And then this little container right here is like from an old sewing machine that my grandma gave me. So you won't be able to replicate this container, but I went ahead and, you know, put it in here. And then this holds just like the smaller heart pieces. And so, I don't know, I mean, some of these are from Ellie Edwards, some of them are from Studio Calico. It just makes me feel really excited to have all of these in one spot so that I can grab it and use them when I need to. All right, in this little bin, which is, again, an iPhone box, I have all of my rubber embellishments. And so if you've been in the scrapbooking scene for a little bit, you know that these are very popular. And so I have had a ton from over the years. And so I just decided to go ahead and put them all in one box. So we'll see how that works out. Obviously there's like different shapes in here, which I feel like it's like, okay, this is rubber, but it's also a star. So do I put it in the rubber bin or do I put it in the star bin? I don't know. So I'm just going to have to kind of like play around with this stuff and see how it works for me. If it doesn't work, I will adjust, obviously. And then I also have some different things down here from story kits that were extras and just didn't really fit anywhere else. So like some large, you know, tags and page turners and acetate and that kind of thing. I'm just keeping those right there. All right, so in this bin, this is mostly like miscellaneous stuff, which I didn't see would fit anywhere else. There are probably some things in here that I will reorganize at some point, but most of these are from story kits. And then I went ahead and tried to put all of my stars into one bin, although I have quite a few stars and I feel like this will probably need to be reorganized at some point. But at any rate, all of my stars are in that container. And then these were mostly cork embellishments from the story kits, so I went ahead and contained those in that container, mostly because it had a lid and I could set other stuff on top of it. So at least everything is sort of separated out and I know where to find it. In this bin right here, I feel like maybe I got this from Dollar Tree, I can't remember. I have some of my Citrus Twist sketches. I used to subscribe to their kits. I used to be on their design team. And so I have some of their sketches, which I wanted to keep. And so I stapled those all together. And then mostly in this bin is albums and some of my old planners and then like different rings. So like this is a 3x4 acrylic album that has a ring on it. There are some, you know, different size like binder rings in here if I need those. And then I also have my old planners in there, which I always save all of my old planners because I'm kind of sentimental and that's just what I do. Okay, and this container are some miscellaneous Studio Calico embellishments along with different manufacturer embellishments. There's like Pink Paisley, American Crafts, crepe paper, pink fresh, Amy Tangerine, just whatever in there was miscellaneous and I couldn't fit anywhere else. I did not touch this. This is a box with some Bella Boulevard products. There's some acrylic words in there, some stickers. There are some soccer papers here that I want to maybe scrapbook some of Connor's soccer pictures with, but for the most part I didn't touch that there. I know where that's at. Down here, these are Studio Calico. They're the 12 by 12 sort of envelopes that all of their kits came in, and since I was on their design team for so long, I have many of them. I also have my 2015 December daily here that I want to work on at some point, but I'm just sort of containing it all in a, you know, a bin here so that I have everything together for when I want to complete it. If you're not familiar with December Daily, it's a project where you document each day in December about what you and your family or your significant other or whoever is doing. It's really awesome. These are also December Daily products in here. I have so many from over the years. I don't even want to talk about it. I just have so many. So many. But I like to keep them together so that when I work on it, you know, I have a cohesive amount of product. And then down here, I just went to Story Camp a few weeks ago, so I do want to eventually make a travel album about that, so I kept everything in this envelope here. I also went to Eugene for the December Daily prep party last year, and I have my stuff in there for that in case I want to document that. I believe this is stuff from December Daily 2016. So again, that's another thing that I want to work on if and when I have the time. Alright, so I actually have a lot more stuff that I can show you, but I'm going to stop for today because it's 10 after 10 and I'm going to be going to bed soon. So overall, I feel like this weekend prep was pretty productive. I feel like I did get a lot of cleaning and laundry done. I didn't get as much stuff done in the kitchen. I may show you guys that tomorrow morning if I can remember, but overall I feel pretty good. I got cleaning done, I got laundry done, I got my groceries, and I got my scrapbook room / office cleaned out, which was the most thing that I wanted to get done because we do have a cleaning person coming this week and she's gonna want to vacuum and things need to be, this won't focus, things need to be cleaned up. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this for tonight, but I may pop back on here in the morning and show you guys what I got accomplished in the kitchen. All right, so it's about 7:15 the next morning. I just wanted to show you, I didn't do like a proper, you know, meal prep this week, but I did get some stuff done for everyone to have this week while I was gone. So we do have some of those cheeseburgers left over that Adam made, and so we just packed them up into a couple dishes, and Adam can take those to work and do sort of like a bunless burger. There's pickles and tomatoes up here, and then this is just some leftover sausage that Adam had. We went out for Italian yesterday for my mom's birthday. And then in here is some of the potato broccoli soup that I made left over. I just put a little bit of cheese on top. And then there's some cottage cheese here and some crackers if he wants to take that. This is actually leftover orange chicken from earlier this week. So the kids really like that and they might eat that for dinner one night this week. And then for the football game on Saturday, I actually made barbecue little smokies, so I have those left over. I'll probably take those for lunch at some point. And then the macaroni salad. And then down here I have my veggies that I cut up, my strawberries. There's some olives in there. And then here's like the little packs of grapes and cheese that I made. There's fruit, chocolate milk, yogurt, juice pouches for the kids. And then Connor actually had this yesterday. He got cheese pizza and there was a ton left over, so maybe they'll have that for dinner or something. And that's pretty much all I got prepped. Oh, I guess I didn't get this cut up. I meant to do that, but oh well. But there's cheese sticks in here and lunch meat and stuff for sandwiches. All right, so I need to leave for the airport in about 10 minutes. But thank you so much for watching this weekend prep video. I hope it gave you some motivation to get things done in your own home, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.